Hey guys, Dustin Ealer again, Skidoojunky. Just reaching back out to you. Wanted to do another vintage Skidoo spotlight. Today, we're going to pick on one of my pal Jimmy John's sleds. This is his 2004 Skidoo Elite. We bought this sled off Ron Hallstrom about 6 or 7 years ago. The Skidoo Elites were made from 1973 to 1975. Then Skidoo took a break. From 78 until 83, they were produced again. And then there was an undisclosed amount of them produced in 2004 and 2005. In 73, Skidoo was trying to appeal to a different demographic, one that they had never tried to appeal to before, the upper class, the elitists. And that is the reason why they came out with the Elite. It's a twin track, side-by-side style. Back then, they said they kind of wanted to mirror the cockpits to an airplane cockpit. I don't know about that. It just looked like a flat dash with some wood grain vinyl on it and a speedometer and an ignition switch to me. That's about all I noticed. But they had a 640cc fan-cooled engine in them in 1973. My good friend, Craig Marchbank, 00 Bam Bam, he actually owns serial number 1 1973 Skidoo Elite, the first one ever made. He and Helen ride that. Sometimes that guy, he's got a problem, you know. I mean, he's got some issues. He's a little bit of a Skidoo hoarder, but I don't know anything about that. So anyways, back to the Elites. So from 73 to 75, they had the 640 in them. Then in 78 to 83, they went to, I believe it was a 460cc, 468 twin liquid. That motor worked a little bit better than the fan. The fan was a little temperamental. It would get hot at times and kind of tough to keep running, but the liquid definitely worked better. And then in 04-05, they really went over the top and put the 1500cc Skidooo engine in it, the 3-cylinder, 4-stroke. Made about 155 horsepower. The original Elites, they were a lot of fun as long as you just wanted to go straight. By 04-05, they were a little bit better. But still, they like to go straight better than they like to turn. Tons of fun on the straight and narrows on the lake, and super scary once you got them in the trails. A good stiff breeze was enough to blow them over. But these were definitely a lot more refined. And you know, you think back to 2004 to 2005 when these snowmobiles actually came out. I mean, I think the retail on them was $16,000. Now, I'm not 100% sure. The reason that the 2005s didn't exist is because some of the 04s never actually got sold. They were too rich for most people's blood, and a lot of people just, you know, they were awkward to haul around if you didn't have a big enclosed trailer. They were just really tough to move around. But these had the 04-05s had the DSA front suspension on them with precision skis, dual carbides, once again, twin SC10 rear suspension. Had the 03 gauge cluster, similar to the Revs, 03-04 Revs. You know, the original Elites had the regular snowmobile handlebars on them. That was a little bit wonky. So on this one, they put a little bit more of a spaceship feel to it, I guess you could say. And you had a hand throttle and a handbrake, almost like paddle shifters on the back. But these things were a lot of fun. They had a front trunk. Almost like a Volkswagen Bug, you pull a lever, it pops open, you can put your stuff in there. And there were some pretty cool accessories you could actually buy for these. The original, back in the 70s Elites, you could get there was CB was an option. You could get a cigarette lighter that you push in and pop out. You know, if you wanted to have, you had your open face helmet on, wanted to have a smoke while you're riding. But these had a radio option. They had some bags. They had a full windshield. They had kind of like a cabette option, a really neat cover. But cool sleds, and they've done nothing but appreciate and value. You know, if you're going to find like this sled here, I think it's got 500, maybe 600 original miles on it. If you're going to find one of these, you're not going to pay much less than about 25 grand for it. So if you'd have bought a brand new Elite in 2004, 2005 and decided to sit on it, probably wouldn't be a terrible investment. But they were super cool, a lot of fun to ride, turned a lot of heads. I got to talk Jimmy into let me ride this thing. But anyways, appreciate you guys coming out today to talk about the Elites. Have a good one.